but you don't put lobster and Skittle on the same plate. Like, you just don't do
But
it.
they want their lobster and
I
Skittles
wouldn't
at the
mind
same
trying
time.
that though.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerds with the Round. Today I have with me again Lawrence. What's up? What's up? And then we got Steven right here. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Captain America: Civil War versus Batman versus Superman. And I'm going to approach you guys with this question: how did you feel about these movies?
Lawrence, you want to start? You
know you're passionate.
You seem like
You know you're passionate.
a lot. But do you
Very
want me to
passionate.
start so that way you can just let the rage bubble up?
There's no more rage. I spoke my piece about Batman vs. Superman on last episode, on the article that I wrote for it, like literally like a few days after it came out. It's a combination of things. Well, where we have Marvel, who doesn't own all their properties, to try to make Civil War happen, and still made a better, solid movie for their universe than what someone who owns all the rights to their own properties just gave us a cluster of just like it's putting all your favorite things on like the same plate, but you don't put lobster and Skittle on the same plate. Like, you just don't do
But
it.
they want their lobster and
I
Skittles
wouldn't
at the
mind
same time.
trying that though. Batman versus Superman and anything Marvel is a clear example of something that's planned out versus something gets rushed. You're talking about Marvel, who has their scripts, or at least their ideas, written and planned out for years in advance, and you have Batman versus Superman, who's like, crap, Marvel's making money.
So then wait,
Let me get on this right now.
But how do you feel about the storytelling and pacing of these movies?
Batman vs. Superman was essentially a lot of different pieces being pulled together to string together whatever story we thought we saw, whether it be good or bad. The pacing of it felt like it did not need to be as long a movie as it was
Oh god,
at all.
It did.
And it went from like a nice slow like burn
it was like
that just never burned. And then finally they were just like, it's like when your dad goes, I'm gonna do the grill for 4th of July, and then he just throws a whole ton of like gasoline on the fire and just goes. I was in the theater, and the only part that people got excited for Batman vs. Superman was when Wonder Woman came out and everyone was like, yeah!
But that goes to
The
the whole
entire audience was quiet for the rest of it, and then when like the lights came on, we all just like looked at each other. Like, you know when people like in movies, like after like a huge apocalypse come out and they're just like, oh my god, like
We survived.
This is what happened. Like,
You're
it was
essentially bonded over a bad experience.
right. Everything like that's
Was it
exactly what it
your,
was.
like your experience with Last Airbender versus with Batman? We'll get into it. I'm bringing back pain for you.
Yo,
Bringing in that pain.
you just like put scabs and just like
Yes. But this is the whole thing. It's like this. Like when you talk about the storytelling, the pacing, like obviously Marvel had the head start with the characters. It made you care about these characters. Then all of a sudden you had this whole.
It's also
battle between
like it's
these
also
characters.
not like these characters weren't well known beforehand. Well, to some degree, a lot of the Marvel characters weren't as well known.
I was actually reading something, the fact that Marvel has planned out their characters so well that they'll make you care about characters you didn't even know existed.
Right.
Like, Guardians of the Galaxy is the perfect example of that. The
Yeah.
majority of people that no one knew who these characters were. Unless you were a comic book person, you did not know who these characters were. And once they put something out for Guardians of the Galaxy, it became one of the more popular franchises.
Now, even if you've never picked up a comic or seen any of these movies or cartoons, if you say Batman or Superman, you know who these people are. And so why build or why try to make something so like grandiose that didn't really need to be that?
Do you think that Batman vs. Superman was a love letter for fanboys and alienated casual fans? Because I know a bunch of casual fans that went to see this movie and were very turned off about it, and I know a bunch of fanboys that could point out like last episode when you talked about Hal Jordan. Again, stuff that was pointed out from fanboys. How do you guys feel about that? It's a big side.
I think that there was more than enough in both, from both aspects, that more than enough people could be upset either way. You're talking about people who know what the storyline is, and then DC couldn't establish a story that people already knew, like you mentioned before. And then you have the casual fan who might go in there who doesn't really know. I mean, I don't understand how they might know anything about Batman or Superman, but even the casual fan is like, there's so much going on at the same time that they couldn't enjoy it either. So you had like that little middle ground of people who were like, had no expectations, who enjoyed it, like me. Like I went in there with no expectations of
Fanboy.
But
Fanboy.
I could pick and I can choose everything that was wrong in there. I'm not necessarily saying that
way on that side of the couch. Way on that side of the couch.
No, when you go with zero expectations,
wait, that movie was a dumpster fire on wheels.
What? I said dumpster fire. You didn't say dumpster fart, right?
No, dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Okay, I thought you said dumpster fart. I was about to say.
Same.
I thought you said dumpster fart too.
Point, literally the same thing.
Look, no, there are certain movies that no matter what, people will always enjoy them, no matter how bad they are. My example is Pootie Tang. But
Time out. Pootie Tang is a classic. We are not going
regardless,
Why did you Pootie Tang?
but there are movies that people will enjoy. I'm not saying that it was a great movie. I'm not saying that it's anywhere near
it had
superhero movie.
elements.
I enjoyed certain elements of it. I'm not going to sit here and hate on it completely.
I can't. I couldn't.
But
I couldn't.
It's not the worst movie ever made, superhero-wise.
The Phantom was better than that.
Oh wow!
Damn.
But am I wrong?
Oh,
Am I wrong though?
And oh wow, the Phantom.
No,
And
the Phantom was not better than that. You went to the depths of hell to get that out. The
That's like
Phantom
how?
was not.
Oh, he's holding this to his chest.
Oh, how did you feel that these fight scenes, these movies, like the outcome for the characters? How did you feel it treated the outcome for these characters? Like for me, Civil War left each character with a different outcome. Like there was just something that affected each character. Like Black Widow, her allegiance to Iron Man, the fact that Tony Stark now is a friend to some and was an enemy to others. Like there was big changes. In Batman vs Superman, I don't feel like there were big changes with the characters.
There was a big change. Now they're best friends because both mommies are Martha.
Again, it's gonna be a running joke with me. Batman was playing too rough with Superman, so Superman yelled out the safe word. He yelled out safe word.
No, I mean, you're right. I think you made an excellent point that Civil War, people learn from the battles. Like
When
you
you
learn
talk
from
about
that.
character development, you have to first start off with the fact that Marvel has built a universe where their characters have been developing throughout the entire course of this. And then you get them to this point in Civil War, and then within that one movie, still continue to develop these characters.
But then people will argue this is like people go, oh, I know Batman, I know Superman. The thing is that you had Ben Affleck who now stepped in the role as Batman, so you haven't proven the role, which he did in this movie. He did well.
I'm still not sold on him. I feel like he is the most complete Batman, meaning he played a decent Bruce Wayne and Batman.
He was a good Bruce Wayne. He was a good Bruce Wayne.
Which we haven't had. We've never had one single person be both.
Correct.
Really well.
I'll take that into a Spider-Man argument at this point because it's kind of how Tobey Maguire played a great Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield played a great Spider-Man, and
Tom Holland
played
both.
He's a good balance.
But there's still something about him that I'm still not like sold on.
If you could do these movies differently, what would you do? What would you do?
Like you said, there's not enough character development in Batman vs Superman. Even though you have characters that are well known, you know everyone knows the backstory.
They
could
don't need to like
very very simple things.
Grow as a character, but they need to be,
especially on a crossover movie like this.
Right.
They could have done very very simple moves to just develop the character a little bit more, and just completely eliminate the fact that Batman couldn't figure out that Superman was not there to kill us all.
For me, I would have changed up the fact, and I've had this conversation with friends before, the villains to unite them. I would have picked, I'm going to keep saying it, Bizarro should have been the villain. Because Bizarro could have been a clone of Superman that was created by Lex Luthor, that was doing crimes under Superman's name.
Which would have excused as to why Batman
Yes. Okay.
In the end,
I think you just solved what is Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
what
could have saved, but that's the thing. You could have saved Doomsday for another movie. Doomsday was
I think Doomsday is a great character that used too soon.
And they're also doing what Marvel is doing by using a villain and throwing them away. Because Doomsday is not a character you throw away. Literally, you cannot kill him.
Like if you look at the characters that Marvel has used as villains, a lot of people complain about that from Marvel, but like look at Ultron. You still felt something with Ultron. Ultron was a good villain. With the recent Thor movie, Hela has been like they said that she came in and she just whooped ass.
And which, by the way, we don't know if she's actually dead or not, because no body, no death as far as I'm concerned.
Also, too, it's like you and what they're saying now that Thanos is coming back. No, Thanos is going to be the main villain. You have the reality gem. You'll have you don't know that
these characters won't be able to come back.
Well, and I'll actually touch on since you mentioned the reality gem. There's also the fact that the reality gem is a great way for them to just reset the character, reset the actors. So
that's what they rumored. That's what they rumored that they might do, because the next Avengers movie is going to change up the whole landscape for everything. Justice League still has a lot to catch up. By the time this video comes out, we're already gonna know what happens with Justice League. It's just at the time that we're filming this video, it doesn't make sense that Rotten Tomatoes has not released a rating yet.
I think it's excellent.
But Facebook fanboys have released all of their reviews.
Oh yeah. Alright guys, so we want to wrap this up. We want to thank you for another episode of Nerds at the Round. Like, subscribe, share the video, visit all of our channels. You have Lawrence over here, you have Steve. All descriptions will be on the bottom. And again, thank you for tuning in to Nerds at the Round.